Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 1st of May 2023 and unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin in the global cryptocurrency market is definitely not looking good, and I wouldn't be surprised by the time you're listening to the episode, the prices would have gone down even further. Now look guys, the answer to this is pretty simple. Jerome Powell later on today will be making a decision regarding the interest rate hike, and most likely guys, he might keep the interest rate hike, or in the worst case scenario, he might actually go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. And this is what a lot of analysts are predicting, and because of that guys, the prices of Bitcoin in the global cryptocurrency market has gone down. Now what I'm going to be doing guys is in tomorrow's episode, I'll go ahead and give out more information regarding the FOMC meeting, because the announcement by Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve Board will be done at 10 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, so definitely keep an eye on that news. Now in today's episode guys, we are going to be discussing some unfortunate news, and that is regarding Bitcoin Jesus, that is Roger Ver, and he was indicted and arrested in Spain, so we'll definitely go and discuss what this whole drama is, because look guys, his indictment goes back to 2001 and 2014, so it looks like after a decade they're going after him, isn't it? Definitely not ideal, so we'll definitely go and touch base on this. Now look guys, whether you're a fan of Roger Ver or not, you have to admit he has probably done more for the Bitcoin ecosystem than probably everyone else combined, to be honest, so you definitely have to respect him for that. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, go to YouTube and look at Roger Ver's predictions so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned. There is a video going back to 2011 where he did actually state that the price of Bitcoin will cross the $10,000 mark, and fast forward to 2024 guys, the price of Bitcoin did actually cross the $70,000 mark, isn't it? So he's definitely been right on many occasions. Now in today's episode guys, we'll also go ahead and discuss BlackRock tokenized fund that is called as BUIDL, and it has now become the largest tokenized treasury fund in just 6 weeks. Now look guys, this just shows the power of BlackRock, isn't it? Now on a side note guys, what I'd suggest you to do is, Larry Fink, he tends to write a letter to all the CEOs in the world. It is definitely the most important letter for the entire world, to be honest, because that letter is what actually sets the stage in which direction we are heading towards, be it let's say wokeism, be it let's say ESG, climate change, deglobalization, or the whole sustainability issue as well. So definitely feel free to go and check it out. Now in today's episode, I'll definitely go and touch base regarding the tokenized fund. Now along with that guys, we do have some positive news, and that is regarding Coinbase, and they are integrating Lightning Network. And what is a bit interesting guys is, they are integrating Lightning Network with the Lightning payment solution provider that is Lightspark, and Lightspark guys is headed by former PayPal president that is David Marcus, so we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this news. Now unfortunately guys, in the world of coin mixing, we do have unfortunate news, and that is regarding Wasabi Wallet and Phoenix, and they have decided that they are no longer going to be servicing customers in the United States of America. Why take the risk, isn't it, with the Biden regime and government going after you? It is better to be safe than sorry, to be honest. And the next news guys is a classic example of that, and that is regarding CZ or Changpeng Zhao, who was the founder of Binance and the former CEO. And yesterday guys, 30th of April, he was sentenced to only 4 months in prison. That, to be honest guys, is an absolutely brilliant deal, because the prosecutors were hoping that he would get at least 3 years in prison. From 3 years down to 4 months is definitely a great deal, to be honest, so I'll very briefly touch base on this. Now these are some macro level news guys from the cryptocurrency and blockchain world, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast, I'm going to be discussing 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is definitely positive news, and that is to do with Liminal, and they have received initial approval from Dubai's WARA, that is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, so I'll definitely go ahead and explore that news. And the second news guys has to do with artificial intelligence in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and looks like they want to use artificial intelligence in healthcare, so I'll definitely go ahead and expand on this news. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as we kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. They'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Tough Mudder Arabia, guys, they are putting some really iconic events in the Middle East, and there is one final event of the season that takes place on the 20th of April in the iconic location called as Al Marjan in Ras Al Khaimah. And the final event of the season, guys, is not going to be an ordinary event. They're going to be having some really cool obstacles. And so far as Tough Mudder is concerned, guys, they create hardcore obstacle courses designed to test your all-round strength, stamina and mental grit. And with the most innovative courses and millions of participants all around the world, it is the premier challenge series in the world. Now look at Tough Mudder Arabia, they did put out, if not one of the biggest events in the world of obstacle course race, and they did that with the highest prize money in the history of obstacle course race. And what better way to end the series by having one final event on the 20th of April in the iconic location. Now look, guys, one of my goals is to complete 100 Tough Mudder, and I'm very close to getting there. Now if you want to go ahead and sign up for this event, the registration link is in the show notes below. So what are you waiting for, guys? Get your friends, get your family members, get your colleagues. The link to the registration for Tough Mudder Arabia on the 20th of April is in the show notes below. And if you go through the link, guys, there is a cool discount code mentioned in the show notes below as well. So hopefully, guys, I see you at the Tough Mudder event. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now mind you guys, these numbers will drastically change by the time you're listening to the episode, because I'm looking at the prices right now and the prices are falling drastically. So I wouldn't be surprised if these numbers drastically changes, and that is because of the FOMC announcement, isn't it? Now so far as the global cryptocurrency market is concerned, it is at $2.22 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 4.56%. Now, truth be told, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if the global cryptocurrency market does actually go below the $2 trillion mark in just a matter of 48 hours. Let's wait and see, guys. Now, the total cryptocurrency market volume is at $90.22 billion. Now, what I'm really liking, guys, is despite the market going down, the volume of stable coins is increasing, which just means, guys, that people are not selling the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Rather, what they are doing is they are kind of parking it into stable coins, isn't it? Which just means that in the next coming days and probably in the next coming weeks, there is a very high possibility that the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market might be pumping up slightly. Those are my honest thoughts at a macro level. Now, since the last 24 hours, guys, the global cryptocurrency market is up by 30.82%. Now, look, guys, if you do want any technical analysis, Glassnode's insights, they tend to look at on-chain analysis and they provide technical details. And yesterday, guys, I did have the opportunity to go out and interview James Check, who's the lead on-chain analyst, and this episode will be released tomorrow. So please feel free to go out and check it out. And if you're a trader, guys, or if you're an institutional investor, you definitely need to check out the episode and probably go out and get some of the paid services as well. So in the episode that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow, you will have relevant contact information regarding Glassnodes, and also go on and check which James Check is part of. Now let's get back to the numbers, guys, because the total volume in DeFi is not looking good at all. It is at $6.80 billion, and DeFi, guys, as of today is accounting for only 7.54% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now so far as the total value locked is concerned, guys, it is on a decline, and to date is only at $89.92 billion, with Lido still dominating with $27.77 billion. Now, so far as the decentralized exchange dominance is concerned, guys, the dominance this week has been relatively consistent, but the percentage has drastically gone down, and that is because of the whole Uniswap drama, isn't it? And looks like people are not using decentralized exchanges because of that. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned, guys, the volume of Uniswap is a little shy of $2 billion. It is at $1.94 billion. PancakeSwap is at number 2nd, and it is at $633.33 million, followed by Curve Finance. Its volume is $312.66 million. Radium, guys, is at number 4th. It is at $286.9 million. And finally, Balancer's volume is $211.7 million. Now look, guys, so far as the matrix is concerned, I really am liking that the volume of stablecoins is increased, which just means, guys, people are going ahead and selling a lot of the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but they are parking it into stablecoins, isn't it? And this just means, guys, at a macro level, they are anticipating the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market to pump up. And once that thing happens, I'm pretty much sure they're going to convert a lot of the stablecoins into Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market. Those are my honest thoughts, to be honest. But as I mentioned earlier, guys, if you do need any technical analysis, definitely check out Glassnode's. Now, so far as the volume of stablecoins is concerned, it is at $84.76 billion. And stablecoins as of today is accounting for 93.95% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And out of this $84.76 billion, Tether USDT is accounting for $66.37 billion, followed by FTUSD, and its volume is a little shy of $9 billion. It is at $8.97 billion. And finally, guys, Circle USDC, which has been consistently number 3rd this week, its volume is $8.50 billion. Now, so far as the market cap of Bitcoin is concerned, guys, unfortunately, it has gone below the $1.20 trillion mark. It is at $1.19 trillion. Now, are we heading towards a bearish market? I definitely don't think so. Because, guys, what happened yesterday is that Hong Kong did go ahead and approve a Bitcoin and an Ethereum spot ETF as well. And I'll very briefly touch base on that. Because the amount of inflows going in regarding the ETF is concerned is definitely not ideal. And that has definitely not helped the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market. Now, so far as market cap of Ethereum is concerned, guys, it has definitely taken a massive hit. And it is at $367 billion. If I'm not mistaken, guys, just last week the market cap of Ethereum was exactly at $400 billion mark, isn't it? So it looks like a lot of investor sentiment is not positive towards Ethereum. Now, so far as the 24-hour trading volume is concerned, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $38.00 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $18.43 billion. This just means, guys, a lot of selling is going on because the price of Bitcoin has actually gone down by well over 4%, and I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that. Now, so far as the dominance of Bitcoin is concerned, guys, it is strangely pumped up. It is at 54.42%, whereas Ethereum's dominance is at 16.40%. Now, this week, guys, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the top 5 decentralized apps that are working on different blockchain protocol. I believe on Monday we looked at Ethereum. Yesterday, guys, we looked at Solana. And in today's episode, guys, we're going to be looking at decentralized apps that are currently working only on Binance BNB chain. Now, if you were to compare Binance BNB chain's volume, let's say compared to Solana, guys, it is definitely looking good. Now, mind you, guys, the only matrix that I'm looking at is the fiat value of incoming token transfers to unique active wallets interacting with smart contract since the last 24 hours. Now, so far as the number 1 decentralized app on Binance BNB chain is concerned, it is PancakeSwap version 3, and the volume is $461.02 million, followed by Venus Protocol, guys, and its volume is $279.62 million. PancakeSwap version 2 is at number 3rd, and its volume is $255.02 million. Now look, guys, if you were to compare this with decentralized apps on Solana, there is an absolutely massive difference, isn't it? And earlier in this year, guys, Solana did actually overtake Binance BNB chain so far as the market cap is concerned, but now the difference is absolutely massive so far as the market cap is concerned. Now the number 4, guys, so far as decentralized app is concerned is MoveStake, and its 24-hour volume is $21.66 million. And finally, guys, at number 5th is Radiant, and its volume is $18.08 million. Now, guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, in today's episode, guys, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and give a brief explanation on DPoS, that is Delegated Proof of Stake. And in the episode, guys, that I released yesterday, I talked about Proof of Stake. So let's go ahead and look at the key difference between Delegated Proof of Stake and for Proof of Stake, guys, check out the episode that I released yesterday. Now, so far as Delegated Proof of Stake is concerned, it is a consensus mechanism used in blockchain network, and it is done to achieve agreement on the state of the ledger. Now, DPoS, guys, is an alternative to the more traditional proof of work and proof of stake algorithm. Now, so far as DPoS is concerned, it was actually introduced by Dan Larimer in 2014. Now, look, guys, so far as Daniel Larimer is concerned, he was kind of considered one of the genius in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Some of the hardcore fans of Dan Larimer even actually said that he might just be the most smartest person in the cryptocurrency space. But at the same time, guys, a lot of the Bitcoin advocates, a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists did actually call out Dan Larimer as a complete scam. And I very specifically remember Fluffy Pony, who was the lead maintainer of Monero, did actually state that his project called Aseos was Dan Larimer's fourth scam. Now look, guys, I definitely dismissed that statement at that point of time. cause EOS guys at one point of time was definitely turning out to be an Ethereum killer, but looks like Fluffy Pony was right, and the project that is EOS is completely dead, isn't it? Now so far as DPoS is concerned guys, Dan Larimer in 2014 definitely got an introduced DPoS, and so far as DPoS is concerned guys, it has actually been implemented in various blockchain projects since then, and it has been used in EOS, BitShares, and even Tron blockchain as well. So let me go ahead and explain guys how delegated proof of stake works, and how does it actually compare to proof of work and proof of stake. Now as we know guys, so far as proof of work is concerned, miners compete to solve complex mathematical puzzle to go ahead and add new block to the blockchain, isn't it? And the miner who solves the first puzzle gets the right to add the blocks and is rewarded with new coins. Now so far as proof of stake is concerned guys, validators are chosen to create new block based on the amount of cryptocurrency they hold and are willing to go ahead and stake as collateral, and validators are selected in deterministic pseudonymous manner with the probability of selection directly proportional to the amount of cryptocurrency staked. Now look guys, some actually argue that proof of stake does go ahead and make rich people even more richer, isn't it? Because whatever funds you have, you go ahead and put that, and the person who got and puts maximum funds, there is a very high chance that he can be validators. And so far as delegated proof of stake is concerned guys, it is slightly different because token holders vote for a limited number of delegates who are responsible for validating transactions, and they in turn add new blocks to the blockchain. Now these delegates guys are typically referred to as witness or block producers, and token holders can delegate the voting power to these witnesses, who then use this delegated authority to secure the network and validate transaction. Now look guys, this is kind of similar to proof of stake, but they've gone ahead and added a delegated feature in it. Now so far as block production is concerned guys, let me make a quick comparison between proof of work, proof of stake, and delegated proof of stake. Now so far as block production is concerned guys, let me very quickly run through how the block production works. So far as proof of work is concerned, proof of stake is concerned, and delegated proof of stake is concerned. Now so far as proof of work is concerned guys, any miner with sufficient computational power can participate in the block production. This results in a competitive environment where miners race to solve puzzles, but they consume significant amount of energy in the process. Now so far as proof of stake is concerned, validators are chosen to create blocks based on their stake, but the selection process guys is designed to be more energy efficient than proof of work. Now so far as DPoS and block production is concerned, a fixed number of delegates, often much smaller than the total number of token holders, are responsible for the creation of blocks guys, and these delegates are elected by the token holder through voting. Now this mechanism guys in theory increases transaction throughput and reduces the risk of centralization in compared to let's say proof of work and proof of stake. Now look guys, so far as proof of work is concerned, the more money you have, there is a very high chance that you can go ahead and dominate the mining industry, isn't it? So these are factors you need to think about as well. Now so far as security and decentralization is concerned guys, so far as proof of work is concerned, it is known for its high level of security due to its resilience in computational work. However guys, it is also criticized for energy consumption and potential for centralization in mining pools as well. Now look guys, theoretically, people say that Bitcoin is decentralized, but if you actually look at it in reality, it might just paint a completely different picture, to be honest. Now so far as proof of stake is concerned, it definitely aims to address the energy consumption issue of proof of work, but may still face centralization concern based on the distribution of wealth among stakeholders. And so far as DPoS or delegated proof of stake is concerned, DPoS attempts to combine the benefit of proof of work and proof of stake while mitigating their drawbacks, and by allowing token holders to vote for delegates guys, DPoS aims to achieve decentralization while maintaining transaction throughput and energy efficiency. So let me know guys whether you like DPoS or do you like POS or POW. Now so far as speed and scalability is concerned guys, delegated proof of stake typically offers higher transaction throughput compared to let's say proof of work or proof of stake, and this is due to the smaller set of block producers and faster block confirmation times. Now so far as proof of work is concerned guys, network often faces scalability challenges. This is due to the consensus mechanism, isn't it? And this actually leads to slower transaction processing times and even higher fees during network congestion. Now so far as proof of stake is concerned guys, network generally offers better scalability than proof of work, but it may still face limitation as the network grows. So essentially guys, in summary, delegated proof of stake introduces a more democratic approach to block production in compared to let's say proof of work and proof of stake, and they do that by allowing token holders to vote for delegates, and it aims to achieve high transaction throughput, energy efficiency, and decentralization while mitigating the drawbacks of traditional consensus mechanism. However guys, like any consensus algorithm, delegated proof of stake has its own set of trade-offs and challenges, including potential centralization among elected delegates and voter apathy. So let me do one thing guys, so far as delegated proof of stake is concerned. Let me go ahead and highlight some of the pros, and then we'll also look at some of the cons of delegated proof of stake. Now, so far as pros is concerned guys, delegated proof of stake is highly efficient in terms of transaction throughput and even energy consumption compared to, let's say, proof of work, and with a smaller set of elected delegates responsible for block production guys, delegated proof of stake networks can achieve faster transaction confirmation and higher scalability. Now, so far as decentralization is concerned, delegated proof of stake involves a smaller number of validators, also called as delegates, in comparison to, let's say, proof of work and proof of stake, but it still maintains a high level of decentralization, and this is done through the election process, and token holders guys have the power to vote for delegates, which theoretically helps distribute power among network participants. And guys, delegated proof of stake often incorporates governance mechanisms that allow token holders to go out and vote on protocol upgrades, parameter changes, and other important decisions, and this gives the community a voice in the direction of the network and thereby facilitates adaptability to changing circumstances. And truth be told guys, delegated proof of stake aims to provide robust security against attacks on reputation and accountability of elected delegates. And since delegates are voted in by token holders and can be removed if they act against the interest of network, there is a high level of accountability that actually helps maintain security as well. Now, one of the biggest pros guys of delegated proof of stake is that of scalability, and delegated proof of stake guys is designed to be highly scalable, allowing for increased transaction throughput as the network grows, and this scalability guys is achieved through a smaller set of validators, which leads to faster block confirmation times, isn't it? So those are some of the pros guys of delegated proof of stake. But now, let's look at some of the negatives or cons of delegated proof of stake. And one of the biggest issues guys regarding delegated proof of stake is that to do with centralization. Now, despite the democratic nature of delegate election, delegated proof of stake has faced severe criticism for potential centralization, and since token holders often concentrate the voting power on a few popular delegates, there is a very high risk of smaller number of entities gaining significant control over the network. Now let me know guys whether you agree to this, because a lot of the advocates of proof of stake and proof of work, they often say between POW, POS and DPoS, the most centralized is delegated proof of stake. Now so far as voter apathy is concerned guys, in delegated proof of stake network, token holders are responsible for voting for delegates, but not all token holders may actively participate in the voting process. This can actually lead to a concentration of voting power among a small subset of the community, further exacerbating centralization concern. Now apart from that guys, there have also been instances in delegated proof of stake network where delegates engage in vote buying or collusion to gain or maintain their position, and this behavior can actually undermine the democratic principles of the system, which further leads to unfair advantages for certain delegates, isn't it? And also cause delegated proof of stake system can be more complex to understand and participate in compared to simpler consensus mechanism like proof of work, and the voting process, delegate selection and governance mechanism may actually require a high level of engagement from participants, which can actually deter some users from actively participating in the network. And finally guys, since delegated proof of stake relies on a small number of elected delegates to validate transactions and produce blocks, the network can be vulnerable to disruptions if a significant number of delegates experience technical issues or become inactive simultaneously. Now look guys, overall delegated proof of stake offers several benefits such as efficiency, scalability and community governance. It also faces challenges related to centralization, voter apathy, and potential vulnerabilities as well. And just like any consensus mechanism guys, delegated proof of stake requires design and ongoing monitoring to address these issues and maintain the integrity and security of the network. So let me know guys what your thoughts are. Are you a fan of delegated proof of stake, or are you a fan of proof of work, or are you an OG and follow proof of work principles? Now look guys, so far as proof of work is concerned, it definitely offers a lot of security, but one of the biggest problems with proof of work is the security is just way too strong, to be honest. Those are my honest thoughts. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now look guys, I have to say this, by the time you're listening to the episode, there is a very high chance that the prices would have fallen down even further, because right now the price is $60,711, and since the last 24 hours guys, it is down by 4.33%. But look guys, I'm looking at the prices on an hourly basis, and it is definitely not looking good. And as and when we get near the FOMC meeting time, I'm pretty much sure these numbers will reflect differently. Now so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned guys, since the last 7 days it is down by 8.56%. Ethereum guys right now is at $3,016, and there is a very high possibility that the price of Ethereum will actually go below the $3,000 mark. Only time will tell, I guess. Now since the last 24 hours it is down by 5.65%. Since the last 7 days it is down by 6.30%. Now look guys, yesterday Hong Kong did actually got an approved spot Bitcoin ETF as well as an Ethereum ETF, but unfortunately guys, the trading volumes were not looking good at all. It only brought in inflows of roughly around $11.2 million, and this is definitely not ideal, isn't it? Now just to give you some comparison guys, in US there were 11 spot Bitcoin ETF that got approved and the inflow was roughly around $4.6 billion. That just shows you the power of the US market, isn't it? Now hopefully guys, probably next week onwards, the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market will actually pump up, and that is one of the reasons guys. Definitely keep an eye on what is going on so far stablecoins is concerned. Now so far as Binance BNB is concerned guys, the price of BNB guys is $578. Since the last 24 hours it is down by 2.35%. Since the last 7 days it is down by 4.94%. Now look guys, if you're someone who's active on Twitter, you would definitely have seen tweets regarding CZ, because yesterday guys he was actually sentenced only to 4 months. To be honest guys, that is definitely a very positive deal for him, because the prosecutors were actually aiming for 3 years. Now some of them were stating that he may not get 3 years, but he'll definitely get roughly around 18 months. But look guys, from 18 months to 4 months, it is definitely a very positive deal, to be honest. Now just on a side note guys, Shangpeng Zhao CZ might be the richest person on the earth to serve jail time with a net worth of around $37 billion. That is some really interesting matrix, isn't it? Now look guys, this begs this question, where does regulations fit in? And this is precisely why Bitcoin was created, isn't it? Bitcoin was created as a movement towards separation of money and the state. Now till that thing happens guys, we do have governments, politicians who definitely have very strong say in the trajectory of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and one of the key person guys in the Bitcoin ecosystem, that is Roger Ver, also referred to as Bitcoin Jesus. He's facing some real consequences. Now what has happened guys, he was indicted and arrested in Spain. Now he was actually arrested for alleged tax evasion and mail fraud in Spain. Now Roger Ver guys, at this point of time you should know, he is called as the Bitcoin Jesus, and he was actually arrested in Spain following charges of tax evasion by the US Department of Justice. Now this indictment guys accuses Roger Ver of evading nearly $50 million in taxes, engaging in mail fraud, and even filing failed tax returns. Now the US Department of Justice guys announced this information on Tuesday. Now the official information by the US Department of Justice is in the show notes below. Now the United States guys will seek Roger Ver's extradition to stand trial in the United States. Now really I'm not sure that thing will happen guys, because Roger Ver, he's definitely no longer a US citizen. Now let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this news guys. Now the indictment actually alleges that Roger Ver, also known as Bitcoin Jesus, he actually acquired Bitcoin starting in 2011 through his companies, that is MemoryDealers.com Inc. and AgileStar.com Inc. Now here's the interesting bit guys, Roger Ver did actually obtain citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis in 2014, and he also renounced his US citizenship. Now despite this guys, he allegedly failed to report his Bitcoin holdings and also the capital gains to IRS as required by law. Now based on the information guys by the US Department of Justice, Roger Ver allegedly provided false information to his law firm, an appraiser, to undervalue his companies and Bitcoin holdings, and in 2017 guys, based on the allegation, what it states is that he purportedly sold tens of thousands of Bitcoin for around $240 million without reporting or paying taxes on the gains. Now this indictment guys claims that Roger Ver caused a loss to IRS of roughly around $48 million. So it's going to be really interesting to see guys how this drama unfolds. Now look guys, whether you like it or not, Roger Ver is definitely a massive advocate of Bitcoin, and each and every interview that you listen to guys, he often says he's definitely supporting peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Now so far as this allegation is concerned guys, the indictment paints a picture of Roger Ver allegedly evading tax obligation by concealing the extent of his Bitcoin holdings, providing false information to tax authorities, and failing to report significant gains from Bitcoin sales, ultimately causing a substantial loss to the IRS. Now look guys, would it be possible for him to go ahead and pay the $48 million and go ahead and clear his name? I really am not sure, but let me know what your comments and thoughts are. Now guys, let's discuss another news, and that is to do with BlackRock. And a few weeks ago guys, I did talk about BlackRock's tokenized fund that is called as BUIDL, and the BUIDL fund guys now has $375 million, and it has now become the largest tokenized treasury fund in just 6 weeks, surpassing Franklin Templeton's Benji. Now with security support guys, BUIDL commands almost 30% of the $1.3 billion tokenized treasury market, and Ondo Finance's OUSG token guys definitely played a significant role in BUIDL's growth, and it contributed to $50 million in inflows. Now, tokenization, particularly of the US Treasuries, offers benefits like faster settlements and also increased transparency, and this has actually driven the market growth from $100 million to $1.3 billion, and this is largely due to BlackRock's entry. Now, if you do want to go and look at this news, guys, it is actually published via CoinDesk, and it is in the show notes below. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Bitcoin and the leading cryptocurrency exchange in US, that is Coinbase. And Coinbase, guys, now supports Bitcoin Lightning Network, offering users faster and cheaper Bitcoin transfers compared to Bitcoin blockchain itself. So now users can choose between Lightning Network and Bitcoin Network for their transfers. Now, how this thing works, guys, is with Lightning Network, the recipient generates a unique invoice containing the transfer amount that is valid for 72 hours. Now, it's really important to note, guys, that a new invoice must be generated for each transaction, and I'm pretty much sure, guys, that these invoices have to be recorded, isn't it? Because that is the whole purpose of using a centralized exchange. Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, Coinbase has chosen Lightning payment solution provider, that is Lightspark, as a partner for the integration. Now, so far as Lightning Spark is concerned, guys, this is headed by former PayPal president David Marcus. And David Marcus, guys, was the guy behind Facebook Messenger, and he was the one, guys, who was trying to go ahead and incorporate Libra, which is a failed project by Facebook stablecoin. Now, that thing being said, guys, David Marcus is definitely a really smart person, and he's definitely a massive advocate of Bitcoin. Now, I do remember, guys, roughly around 9 months ago, David Marcus did actually state some of the challenges with Lightning Network, but looks like the fruition can be seen now. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, if Lightning Network does actually increase the use cases of Bitcoin. But look, truth be told, why would you want to use Bitcoin to make regular transaction? You'd be completely stupid to go and use Bitcoin for regular payments, isn't it? Because the prices are heading towards the moon right now. Why not go and use stablecoins instead? Now, guys, let's discuss some unfortunate news, and that is regarding Wasabi Wallet and Phoenix. Now, look, guys, Wasabi Wallet and Phoenix, they have decided to suspend their services for customers in the United States, and this is due to action taken by US authorities against similar cryptocurrency services. Now, the companies, guys, have implemented measures to block US IP addresses, and they've also gone ahead and decided to remove the wallets from US application stores, and they did that to comply with potential regulations. Now, the crackdown on cryptocurrency services, guys, has definitely intensified, and this has intensified following the arrest of individuals that were linked to Samurai Wallet that I did talk about a few weeks ago, and they were unfortunately connected to money laundering as well. Now, so far as this news regarding Wasabi Wallet and Phoenix no longer servicing in US, guys, it is actually published in forecastnews.com, and the link to that is in the show notes below. So these are the newscasts of the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now, the first newscast is a positive news, and that is to do with Liminal, and they have received initial approval from Dubai's WARA, that is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this news, because First Answer Custody Free Zone Establishment, which is a Dubai entity of Liminal Custody Solutions, guys, they have received initial approval from Dubai's WARA. Now, this approval, guys, is a significant step towards Liminal becoming a trusted custodian for virtual assets in the UAE, and Liminal, guys, aims to acquire a full virtual asset service provider license from WARA, and Namir Tab, who's the CEO of Liminal Custody Solutions Middle East, has definitely expressed excitement over the approval, highlighting the commitment to regulatory standards, and Liminal, guys, plans to commence regulated custody services upon securing the virtual asset service provider license, and the company will implement robust compliance, security protocols, risk management, and audit procedures to safeguard clients' assets, and Liminal, guys, is a compliant and insured digital asset custody and wallet infrastructure provider, and they were launched in April 2021, and Liminal, guys, holds certification including CCSS Level 3, SOC Type 2, ISO 27001 and 27701, and the company operates in APAC, MENA region and Europe, with offices in Singapore, India and UAE, and Liminal, guys, supports businesses with qualified and insured digital asset custody, ensuring stress-free safekeeping. It offers a secure, compliant and automated wallet infrastructure platform with plug-and-play architecture. Now look, guys, so far as WARA is concerned, we know that it was established way back in March of 2022, and WARA is an entity, guys, that regulates virtual assets and virtual asset activities across Dubai, excluding Dubai International Financial Center. Now, WARA, guys, aims to create a legal framework, and they do that to protect investors and establish international standards for the virtual asset industry. And, guys, the authority supports Dubai's vision for a borderless economy. Now, so far as Liminal is concerned, guys, if you do need more information, it is on liminalcustody.com. Now, this is definitely a positive news. Now, guys, let's discuss second news, and this is to do with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And, guys, I was going through a LinkedIn earlier today, and Larry Fink, was in Saudi Arabia as well, and he definitely said quite a lot of positive things regarding Saudi Arabia. Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, it has more to do with artificial intelligence in healthcare in Saudi Arabia. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this news, guys. And Abdullah Al-Swad, the Saudi Minister of Communication and Information Technology, discussed AI integration in healthcare at the World Economic Forum in Riyadh, and this is the event, guys, that Larry Fink was attending. And Larry Fink, guys, has definitely said great things regarding the future of Saudi Arabia in general. Now, so far as AI in healthcare is concerned, Saudi Arabia aims to enhance the healthcare sector through the adoption of artificial intelligence, and Al-Sawa emphasizes collaboration with international organizations, and they want to do that to facilitate AI adoption. Now, the minister, guys, addressed a panel discussion at the World Economic Forum, focusing on strategies for integrating AI and ethical consideration regarding AI, and also its implementation were explored during the panel. Now, the session, guys, was titled Artificial Intelligence, Productivity and Work, and Can They Actually Coexist? Now, so far as Al-Sawa is concerned, guys, they elaborated on how AI can improve Saudi Arabia's healthcare sector during the discussion, and the discussion highlighted the potential benefits and also the challenges of integrating AI in healthcare, and Saudi Arabia seeks to leverage AI to increase efficiency and also effectiveness in healthcare delivery. Now, the minister, guys, emphasizes the importance of responsible AI implementation. Now, look, guys, AI adoption is viewed as means to enhance productivity and innovation in healthcare, isn't it? And collaboration with international partners is seen as crucial for successful AI implementation. Now, look, guys, so far as cryptocurrency and blockchain is concerned, I definitely did not see any news at the World Economic Forum. And I very specifically remember, guys, when ChatGPT was out, Nadia Satela did actually state that the cryptocurrency and blockchain world do require ChatGPT moment, and that is definitely a fact, isn't it? Now, so far as this news is concerned, guys, Al-Swah's remark underscores Saudi Arabia's commitment to technological advancement. Now, so far as the discussion at the World Economic Forum is concerned, guys, it definitely reflects global interest in leveraging AI for social benefit, and the ethical implication of AI in healthcare were the central focus of the discussion. And Al-Swah's participation demonstrated Saudi Arabia's engagement in global dialogue and technology. And the session, guys, also encouraged dialogue on how AI could coexist with traditional practices. Now, look, guys, Saudi Arabia embarking AI definitely reflects broader trends toward technological innovation in the region, isn't it? And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to LinkedIn, follow Larry Fink, and just read through the post that he actually said. And look, guys, so far as the next decade is concerned, I definitely do feel that Saudi Arabia will definitely be working 10x fold so far as its economic policies are concerned. So definitely positive news for Saudi Arabia. And that's about all, guys, on the cryptocurrency and blockchain and artificial intelligence world. From Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestion, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to the episode, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And guys, also feel free to go ahead and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Trisha, who asks, what are your anticipation regarding the FOMC meeting, and what do you think Jerome Powell would actually state? Now look, Trisha, this is really a tricky question. Now, so far as the announcement regarding the FOMC meeting is concerned, I do feel that Jerome Powell most likely will keep the interest rate hike, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes ahead and increase the interest rate hike, because what happened is that a few weeks ago, productivity information was out regarding US, and the numbers were definitely not looking good. And since the last 3 months, Trisha, the inflation has been picking up pace as well. Now, the only way to go ahead and reduce the inflation is to go ahead and cut the spending, isn't it? And one way to do that is to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. Now, look, since the last 2 FOMC meeting, Jerome Powell did actually state that he did not want to go ahead and make any hasty decision, because 3 months in a row the inflation numbers were high. So what he thought, let's wait for a longer time and then go ahead and make a decision to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. So the FOMC meeting that's going to take place today will definitely be extremely crucial. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if he does go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. Now, so far as cryptocurrency is concerned, it's pretty simple, Trisha. If Jerome Powell decides to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike, there is a very high chance that the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market will actually go down. Now look, if the prices do actually go down, it is an absolutely ideal time to go out and buy these coins, because in the next coming weeks and months, I'm pretty much sure the prices will definitely increase. Now, so far as the FOMC meeting is concerned, it is really critical, because right now there is US election coming up as well. Now, it's really important to note that the Federal Reserve Board is definitely apolitical, and a lot of people do actually dislike Jerome Powell, but look, he's a straight up and real honest guy, and he does have one goal in mind, and that is to focus on inflation. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does actually go ahead and decide to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. But let's say, Trisha, if he does go ahead and decide to keep the interest rate hike the same, I do feel that that will also drive the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies down. But let's say for some wild circumstance, if he does go ahead and decide to reduce the interest rate hike, which to be honest is extremely unlikely, then the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market, even the stock market, and the general economy will actually bump up. I don't see that thing to be happening, to be honest. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, Trisha, and even for our listeners, Jerome Powell will go live via YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and listen to what he says, because what he does is he goes ahead and gives his reasoning as to why he's going ahead and decide to go ahead and, let's say, keep the interest rate hike, increase the interest rate hike, or lower the interest rate hike. And then there's back and forth question and answer session as well. So definitely go ahead and feel free to check it out. Now, what I tend to do is, Trisha, I tend to look at these prices 3 to 4 hours before the announcement is made, during the announcement is made, and 3 to 4 hours after the announcement is made. Now look, mainstream media does tend to put out a completely different narrative, which is completely different to what he says. And I've said this thing in the past as well. Jerome Powell, I believe in 2022, he was asked 8 times if the US is heading towards recession, and each and every time he said no. Labor market conditions were looking good, and US is not heading towards recession. And it's no surprise, next day the media did actually publish the article that US is heading towards recession, but Jerome Powell does not want to admit it. And this is some of the dangers of listening to fake news mainstream media, isn't it? And that is one of the reasons why I always say, when it comes to, let's say, inflation, the only website to look at is the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. So what I would recommend you to do is, Trisha, and even for our listeners, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, that is www.bls.gov, look at the inflation numbers yourself, and then go to the Federal Reserve Board website, and you do have specific dates as to when Jerome Powell goes and makes the decision regarding the interest rate hike. Listen to what Jerome Powell says, and most often than not, what mainstream media puts out is completely different. Now, the reason why I would recommend you to see the process 3 to 4 hours after the announcement, because mainstream media does put out a completely different narrative, and that fake news does actually impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as well. So these are things you need to factor in as well. So let's see what the announcement is, and in my episode tomorrow, I'll definitely go out and touch base on this and give out more information regarding this as well. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestion, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, please feel free to go ahead and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, some major breaking news, occasionally cover short and sweet news as well. And then we look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, from Bitcoin, the global cryptocurrency market, and lately we'll be looking at AI as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.